Hello and welcome back, Josh, Sam, and anyone else who's watching to Lviv and Let Die, possibly the final episode. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. We are back for a triple threat of a video. We're going to play Olympic Donetsk in the Ukrainian Cup final, and then we're going to play the final two league games, Ilichevets and Zorya Lugansk. They're all in these little period here, so there's plenty of time. Or rather, it won't take us too long to actually play all those games. 'Tis the way it is. But yes, we're now going to go and do that. We have a very good record against Donetsk, even though that in my head it feels like we don't. Eugene Klishnichenko returns in goal. We're going to have Dmitro Budeny go into the first team's starting 11. It looks like our centre back Baranovsky, who's been playing very well all season, has gone off on international duty rather than play the centre back role, which is annoying. And of course, as has Arsen Kravchuk. Great news. But it's okay. Pavel Dudnik, he will come in. Vasil Mikhailovich will take the bench. We'll also have Bogdan Ostapets. In he comes. Can we put on another option? We'll bring on Kvasiuk as an option, but I don't think he'll get a game. In terms of the actual strikers, let's go with Lacroix has pretty much played that role all season, so let's let him start the final. What should we do? I do want to win the final, so I am going to leave the strong boys. No, you're not having number 8, you fool. So yeah, that's the team that we're going to start against Olympic Donetsk. We do tend to struggle against them, but we're going to hope that in this game that's not one of those times. And as I mentioned at the beginning, statistically we actually don't struggle against them. It must be that we beat them, but it feels like they're doing well against us, and that is what is skewing my belief, because actually we beat them pretty much every time. So yeah, they're not that good. They had a poor end of the season except for their cup results. They've been pretty much losing every game, so they're not in good form again, other than in the cup. So we should be able to do this. We've only lost one game all season. That was against Real Madrid at home. We even drew with Real Madrid away, as you'll remember from the last video. So there we go. We're in pretty good form ourselves. Baton to Magno. Magno's header just pointlessly. I mean, why would you even do that as an action that a human being could take? Why would you just head the ball straight forward when there is actually no need to? Anakin gives it to Korotkov, and they have the ball in our sort of danger zone, but we do clear. Now Lacroix is running clear, and good save from Gursky, and they sort of try to clear it, but also don't really bother 100%. Markovic now to Stoilikovich. It's early in the morning, my voice feels better, but it is early in the morning, therefore I also have that little sort of tired voice. I've got tired voice. The medical condition known as tired voice affects 100% of the people 90% of the time. So I'm going to have some coffee as Alexia sort of runs ragged, that poor left midfielder. Anokin. Nice tackle from Ostapets. Korotkov. Stoikovic. Markovic, Plipchuk. That was a terrible effort. Okay. Plipchuk gives it to Kozlov. Kozlov to Markovic. Now to Princhenko. Oh no, good save from Klishnichenko. He's actually a good goalkeeper. He's just he's another. Actually, I think, did he not come through? I was talking at length in, I think, the last video, or maybe the video before, about well finished. What a ball from Dudnik. Lovely finish from Lacroix. I was talking at length about players who'd come through because we were talking about Mikhailo Shpak at Karpaty, and I completely forgot to mention, I'm pretty sure, Klishnichenko, who I think has come through at Lviv. Maybe I signed him. I'm not 100% sure. But Klishnichenko is another good player who, he would start the most Premier League sides. This season, if we do stay for another year, it does depend on whether that achievement unlocks or not. I'll sell Klishnichenko probably, and he will go to a team like Olympic Donetsk, and he'll do well for them. I don't think he's ever played. He's played maybe 1 or 2 league games for us over the course of 7 years or something like that. So you can understand why he'd want to leave. Lacroix finishes nicely. We were under a brief moment of pressure, but we run straight down the other end and score. 2-0 to Lviv, and this looks like the FA Cup is returning to Lviv. We'll see. All I'll say is I have the Excel document all ready to go. So over the course of the rest of... good effort from the lad, but unfortunately just wide. Over the course of the rest of the video, we are going to play all 3 games, so it will be a little bit of a long one. We'll talk about who's won the other divisions if that comes up, and I'll input the data. So I'll warm up for work by doing some data entry. That'd be nice. Magna clears. Dudnik running with it. Dudnik, can he give it? Dudnik's going himself. What a run that was! Directly, literally just. It wasn't like it was any kind of. Oh dear, early morning. It's much easier to describe things via sort of mouth noises rather than words, and obviously, technically, words are mouth noises, but in a very other sense, you're wrong. So be quiet, please. Lacroix taken out by Princhenko, but he doesn't stop going, and the ball falls to Korotkov out there on the right. He throws it for a throw. It's only been half an hour in this game. Dudnik to Alexeyev to Ostapets. Dudnik to Magno. Oh, Magno hits the post. Ostapets' terrible touch. They do that so much. They go to run to the ball and then just walk it off. No player in the Football Manager 2012 universe has pillow feet. Dudnik, finish. Yes. Every single one of them, he got a goal on his debut in the cup final. They all of them touch the ball, walk off. Every single time. The best midfielder in the world can run after the ball, and instead of in real life touching it and keeping it on, they just run straight forward with it. It's so stupid, and it really is highly frustrating. Speaking of highly frustrating, of course, we're going to be moving at some point soon to Dudnik, unlucky son. We'll be moving at some point soon to a really, really bad team. The quality difference will be very much very stark. Of course, we've built Lviv from a team that's pretty much already like that to being the best team in Ukraine, possibly ever. And we'll have to do that again over a period of a few seasons. There'll be a couple of promotions and stuff. It'll be a bit interesting to see some new teams in new leagues and what have you, and to see how well I can actually do in those lower leagues. I know that I can do really well because I've done it everywhere except for Dynamo Minsk, who I always forget that I actually did manage briefly. Alexeyev is now banned for our next match, so unlucky to him. Holstenberg now to Ashkenazi. It's okay. We'll let Alexeyev play this one out then, because there's no need in replacing him, because he can't be tired for the next game. Lacroix, what a finish that is. That's a hat-trick, isn't it? Yes, it is. So we're now 4-0 up. I'm going to just put FC Lviv as winner of the cup. I think it makes sense. Let's refresh that, and we now have 9 FA Cup wins. All of them since I took over. 2066, 67, 68, 69. Then there was a win for Dnipropetrovsk. Then 2 wins. Then a win for Karpaty. Then 2 more wins. Then Shakhtar. Then this win. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Weirdly, we've actually been worse in that competition than we have in any of the other competitions. So the Super Cup, only us have won it, except for Krivbas. Well, in fact, that's the same with the league as well. Since we started winning things, only Krivbas and Shakhtar have won. Oh, what a load of rubbish. Neither of those. I'm attempting to make that stat. That's completely wrong. So the league, we first won the league in 2065, which is 12 years ago. Since then, we have won all of the division titles except for the 2066 League Cup league title, where we came, I think, fourth, and Shakhtar Donetsk won, and then after that as well, the 2069 league title was won by Krivbas Kryvyi Rih, who are our perennial rivals throughout this video, and they won it in 2069. In the FA Cup, we lost the 2065 final to Chornomorets. You'll remember it well, I'm sure. We lost the 2065 final before going on a run of 4 wins and then losing. I think we lost in the final to Dnipro. I can't remember if that's true or not now. Actually, did we lose in the final or did we lose in the semis? Can't remember. Anyway, then we went on a 1-2 more before losing in the. Before then, we definitely did lose in the semis against, or maybe it was the quarters, but whatever. We lost out and Karpaty Lviv won. Oh, near Baton hits the post. Before we won 2 more leagues, 2 more cups in a row, and then last season we were knocked out in the third round, I think it was, allowing Shakhtar Donetsk to sneak in and steal our trophy back. And in the Super Cup, we've won every single one we've participated in, except for right in the middle of our run, we lost to Krivbas Kryvyi Rih, who must have been the runners-up from the league that season. So yeah, we've been pretty dominant for the last decade. Decade and a half, in fact. It's basically 15 years worth of titles that we've been competing for and winning most of. Baton now running around the right side of the goalkeeper. Ostapets as goalkeeper of the left back. Ostapets has scored. That's another goal for a debut player for Lviv, which is frankly, I mean, that's quite a surprising statistic. Even for us in this kind of game. We're going to bring on Kofi Donkor. We're also going to allow Vasil Mikhailovic. No, because I'd really like to take off Ostapets, but I don't really have anyone to take him off for. What do we do? Let's bring on Musa Kurt. And let's leave it at that, and then we'll see what we can maybe fudge something for Ostapets to come off. But yeah, 5-0 in the final. I think I wonder if this would be the record result in the final. We've definitely won big in the final before. I think we beat Dynamo Kiev quite handily in the final once. Markovic, Piskunov, and they finally get a shot, but it was deflected behind for a corner. Anakin. Anyone who was concerned that the Real Madrid result might harm us and our confidence was sorely mistaken. Maybe that was the only thing that Olympic were hanging their hat on. Although we drew with them earlier on in the season, I think 1-1. So if any single team in Ukraine this season has looked close to beating us, it's been Olympic Donetsk. No one else has even come close in the league. Piskunov. He curls over. I have more coffee. It is the way of the world. 63 minutes. Oh, are they going to get a goal? No. Godoridze smashes over. I think we're going to have to replace Ostapets at this point. So we'll bring on Mikhailovic. He'll play a left midfield. Has to be Mikhailovic. I could have brought on a proper player, but Mikhailovic is Ukrainian, and therefore that's what's going on there. Vuletic, as if you didn't know that, has been like over a decade of me playing the exact same sort of tactics in these stupid Ukrainian Cups. I do remember at the beginning of it worrying that we wouldn't be able to win it a lot because we wouldn't have enough Ukrainian players, but it turns out that we've been able to win it plenty without too many good players. Anakin. Oh, they did score. Stojlikovic Stoyalikovic. I think it's probably what you would call his name. I'd probably just rename him Stoyalikovic. We might go through some teams of the decade and stuff like that, those kind of things, and look at where our players are now as well, because we'll make it Dudnik. Unlucky, my friend, unlucky. Anakin to Stoyalikovic. Or possibly I'll do a one-off once we've left. We'll do a little one-off just to make this video not overbearingly long. Musa Kurt now to Ashkenazi. Donkor. Keep going, son. We've still got 20 minutes of this game left. Jesus Christ. I mean, in games like this where you're winning and it's essentially boring to watch us continue to dominate, time drags. But when you're playing against Real Madrid and you actually need to get a goal, time just slips out of the hourglass with alarming rapidity. Korotkov into Musa Kurt. Lacroix. Croatian Komi beats Plipchuk. Has a really sweet little name, Plipchuk. Dudnik with the ball gives it to Lacroix. Can Lacroix get a fourth? He tries but fails. Kozlov clears. And now we have a throw on the right. Alexiev finds Ashkenazi. He was tackled by Kozlov, and I thought it was going to be a foul the way he sort of flew through, but it wasn't. Croatian Komi fouls, of course. And we now have a free kick to defend. And we do it super easy. Alexiev gives it to Donkor, up to Lacroix, and suddenly we are countering. Lacroix is he still going? No, Kozlov takes him out. Maxim Kozlov sounds like a sort of a wrestler name. Sounds like let's make up a name that sounds really Russian. Okay. Oh, lovely ball, Lacroix. Oh, son. The sun was about to start shining through my window at just the right angle to blind me to death, and so I decided I would put the blinds down. Oh, Magno hits the crossbar, and Mikhailovic does get himself booked for a tackle there on the edge of their box in the 84th minute, so he gets a booking on his debut. It's fair enough. They've reverted their familiar style of play, which has suited them so well in this game. Kofi Donkor into Korotkov, but nothing doing. Markovic is going to chase, but Ashkenazi does get there and clears back up the line to Donkor, who gives Lacroix. Can we have another goal before we end? Dudnik shoots at the Azagurski. We nearly did. That's okay. Markovic to Kozlov. Huge ball from Kozlov, but Musa Kurt collects. Croatian Komi chips it back to Kluznichenko, gives it to Badenu. Alexiev to Mikhailovic, to Dudnik. We've actually got quite a few Ukrainians on the pitch. 7, I suppose, yes. Dudnik still going. Lovely play from the lad. I noticed that he was worth £1 million, according to the game. We've won the Ukrainian Cup. Good. Save. He's worth £1 million, so I don't know how good he actually is. I'm not even sure. I don't think I even looked at his stats. But anyway, Lacroix, man of the match, wins himself another cup, gets himself the top scorer for the competition. Let's just quickly take a look at him. £2 million he's worth. Oh, he's actually pretty good. Oh, we signed him from Dnipro, so I should really know who he is. Good. Well done, fella. Wheatland continues Lviv tradition. They're pleased. Rosic praises my spirit, which sounds a little bit like I died, but I don't think that's what he means. Do we have any movement on the cool players front? No, everybody's still loved. Oh, Baranovsky's got on there somehow. An 18-year-old centre-back coming through. Maybe they'll never sell him and he'll be... actually, can we try and tie him down to a really long contract just so that when we do leave... What's he currently on? 850. Let's go for Hot Prospect to 2082. We'll give him £1,300 a week. No, but the whole point is I'm tying you down to a long contract, you mug. the whole point. Let's give him a international appearance. 10 appearances will give you 15,000. Are you being serious? Oh, why don't you want to sign on for longer, you mug? It's not my money anymore, I'm just going to spend it. Thank you. Good, Baranovsky will stay. That's done good things for the club. Alexiev and Dudnik reached their yellow card limits. Dudnik, I thought it said that he scored on his debut, and how is he already at his yellow card limit? Okay, well done him. We'll attend the press conference. Yes, we're a good point. We're a good team. Absolutely thrilled. Love this competition. Absolutely delighted. That's what Renault is capable of. Yeah, Renault's good. I mean, what do you want? It's another loss for Olympic Donetsk. They still seem like they're going to have a good end to the season. 7th, not bad for a club like them. The interesting sort of state of Ukrainian football means that half the clubs in this... Oh, he's our youngest ever goal scorer as well in the cup final. Well done, Bogdan. Are you any good? You're no good. Oh, in fact, he's a brand new... That's why I didn't know who he was. He's a brand new regen. Does that mean he's got... has he got a... Hang on, can we look at his achievements? So he got an Ukrainian Cup. Well done, Bogdan. You'll be a good lad. Yes, so I can't remember what I was going to say. Okay. Right, so let's play Ilyachevitz, then let's play Zorya, and then let's be done with this charade. Easy win, predicted. What a surprise. Let's attend the press conference. Everyone knows that we have to keep working hard. Team is playing with freedom created by confidence. Its form won't last forever, however. They've obviously got no chance, and no, we're not thinking about resting players to play the team who've come absolute rock bottom of the division. Sorry, that's a stupid question, and if it was in real life, I would look witheringly at the man asking me, and I would ask him if he was an ostrich. If he's ever seen any football in his life, or if he'd spent all of his time with his head under the sand, because basically, deep down, I am Nigel Pearson in a fairly jovial man's body. I can't imagine there's that much football going on the 10th of May, Monday the 10th of May, so maybe we can crack on so that we can play our stupid 2 games in 2 days schedule, please. The computer chooses to ignore me. The US Gravelly. See, like, who even are that? That must be a Spanish team, or like possibly Italian. Okay, so they're interested in signing all of our players. They have actually slipped up a little bit. I was mentioning when we played them that we might be able to derail their championship title bid, and actually it looks like we have done. They've dropped off a bit, and it looks like it's going to be Lyon or possibly PSG winning it. They do still have an outside chance, but it's not going to happen. That's cool. That's good. That's interesting. Seeing how we've got the influence on the title in every other league as well, because we're the best team. We're the best team. We don't need to win the Champions League to know that we're the best team. Right. Okay, defence. We're going to play Benitez in this game to keep him from whinging like a little bitch. Alexiev is out, so that means we're going to play Ashkenazi on the left. Now we'll put Badani on the left, and then we'll put Westrom over here. We'll put Topalovic in there instead of him, and then onto the bench. Ashkenazi can then take that spot. Midfield-wise, we can't play Dudnik. We're not going to play Ostapets again. We don't have anyone else here, but we do have Ender's Game, who's going to drop in, and I think we'll put... hang on a second, we need to sort out the left wing. Shungu comes in. Degachev is actually going to replace Croatian Komi, and I think we'll then have Magno on the bench. And then up front, we'll play with Wolfgang Klein, and I think we'll give Renault a bit of a breather. We'll let him play up front with... We'll let Klein play up front with Planinsek, just to really sort of really rotate the team around a bit. They're playing with the classic terrible formation that used to be. I think at the beginning of this game, that's the formation that's played a lot by teams who are sort of mid-table in the Premier League in an attempt to sort of maximise their output of the team. And I don't think it does anything. It's such a pointless tactic. It's just super defensive. And you have to have two very good wing backs, otherwise it doesn't work. And yeah, they're kind of midfielders as well. So Planinsek, yeah, easy. Planinsek, they're sort of the way they're positioned there. They look like wingers, and they sort of are. But that's the problem. Like, to get a wing back who's good enough to play that high up and also still be defensively good is tough. So it's a stupid formation that doesn't really bring out the best in anyone. And it means that your midfield three are very deep, as we will see here as we beat the ever-loving shit out of Ilichevitz. We keep going. Westrum to end his game. Oh, they do make some tackles, Smirnov. But look at the gap between their forwards. I mean, actually there it looks kind of not that bad. But still, I don't like that formation. It never seems to be successful. It can be very nullifying for teams who are attacking, so it can have that effect. Like, I remember, I feel like playing as, it may have been Swindon, it may have been Western, and finding that it was very hard to break teams down who use this formation. But the problem is, once they have been broken down, they don't really, teams like that don't tend to then have skills to actually finish things off, and then also or go and score. And then if you're good, it doesn't matter anyway. So Shungu crosses to Biton. They've made their best effort to try and stop us, but it's not going to happen. We've only scored 103 goals this season, so we've dropped off about 20 from last year. But that's fine. We've conceded a lot less, or maybe not a lot less, but we've definitely conceded less. Shungu in the middle, Planinsek scores. Ilichevitz are a joke. And they've only just not been relegated yet again. I think we played them in the last game of last season as well, and they were also basically in this kind of area of teams, and I think we beat them 5 or 6 in that one. So we've got form for battering Ilichevitz. Sorry about that, everybody. If you like to see challenging league games, you just don't get that in the Ukrainian league anymore. You just get the occasional sort of aberration, like the 1-1 draw with Donetsk, where you can see that it's kind of a stupid result and the strikers were just not on form. Klein scores. It's 4-0. 105 goals now. That means our goal difference is again 100, which is nice. If we can just keep battering them, that'd be nice. I'd really love to get a record, like up to 10 or something like that. I wonder how you can. I wonder if we can do that. Klein, can he cross? He does. Planinsek. Oh, but his shot goes straight to Rosman. Rosman is almost the name of a pharmacy chain here in Poland. So, the more you know. Fiorentino fouls. Now we have a free kick. Gives it to Halstenberg. Westrum. Cross. Oh, I thought that was going to fall straight through to Shungu, but it didn't quite. Oh, that was a nice ball forward. He was offside though, yeah. Nice idea from a few players there, but no, not happening. Rosman comes forward with it to Palovic. Okay, Rosman makes a good save. Klein then fouls as he goes in to try and get the ball back. That's a shame, but we don't need any more goals. We're just toying with them at this point. Biton to Planinsek. Biton to Planinsek. Planinsek, can he get across him? He does. Shungu doesn't quite get there, but it's okay. End his game to Degachev. Westrum into Planinsek. Planinsek turns and shoots, but it was saved, but it's okay because Shungu was there. It's 5-0, 35 minutes gone. 5-0 up against Ilichevitz. They actually hadn't conceded that many goals. 45 seems to be about what everyone concedes, but now that we are starting to put the boot in a little bit. Actually, notably, the teams going down this season haven't been that dreadful. I mean, I know Zoya only got 10 points and only scored 10 goals. It's another one for us, by the way. Zoya only scored 10, but they only conceded 58, which is a lot. That's like 2 a game. But they last time they were up, they would have conceded something like 70 or 80. And the same with, actually I don't think Zorya have ever been up, but Stal, when they went down the first time, they conceded nearly 80 goals. Okay, they have again this season, but like I think there's some improvement coming for the teams coming up at least, which is good to see. Planinsek, Shungu's cross was deflected. We're 6-0 up at half time, possibly 7 if we get this one. Nope. I'm going to tell them to go out there and not let their performance drop. In it comes, Klein hits the side netting. That's a disappointment. But I want 10 in this game, and I'll be disappointed if we don't get it. We've been simply brilliant. Well, we are playing a bunch of Cowboys. Assertive. I mean, that is the biggest lie anyone's ever told anyone. You might be winning, but that could still change if your performance levels drop. I mean, we'd all have to die on the pitch. They'd have to all just sort of like lie down and just be like comatose on the floor to give Ilichevitz any hope. Okay, to give them any hope of returning a result in this game. And anyway, I think I've managed to finally find the winning formation for forcing the players to continue being good in the second half. Because usually, I mean, maybe that'll happen this time, but usually they'll score 1 or 2 more maximum, and they sort of take their foot off the pedal. You can avoid it in preseason friendlies, which is where we usually score up to 10, because you can change the entire team, and so the guys coming on are still fresh. But in these games, you can only bring on 3, obviously, and so therefore, if the if the players sort of give up, like even if you bring on some fresh legs, that can't really change very much. So let's bring on Kofi Donkor. Let's have Aloy Udo come on for Klein. No, let's let Klein try and have a hat trick. Let's bring on Lecroix for Planinsek. And why not let Musa Kurt get involved with the fun? Yeah, I think so. Because I noticed we did just go through a huge jump of time there with no goals going in, so I wanted to shake things up. Lacroix, we only need 3 to get to 10. I think 10 is the most, it would be the biggest scoreline. So maybe we can just do that instead of fiddling around. Have they just had a man off as well? Or did he actually get substituted? No, I think he did come off, but he was substituted, so it's okay. And this game had the opportunity there to play the ball over the top to Lacroix. Oh, there's a huge ball. Will he? Oh, I mean, that's surely outside the box. You can see the ball's outside. Ugh, anyway. Yeah. And Nikolaev. Oh, he goes past his man. Nicely done, sir. We've sort of gone to sleep there. Now the ball comes up towards Lacroix. Can we? Oh, look, sorry, I told you guys to. Let's go overload, try and snatch a few more. Shungu, over to Westrom. Westrom to Dergachev. Ender's game. Ender's game to Lacroix. Donkor, what a terrible, terrible effort that is. So it looks like Ilichevitz have been let off in the second half. I had hoped, gets a corner. I had hoped that we were going to then go on and sort of continue to steamroll them, which would have been fun, but it seems like that's just not what's going to happen. Ender's game puts the ball forward to Klein. Maybe we can snatch one more. Klein keeps going. He crosses. Lacroix doesn't quite get there, but it's okay. Shungu has it. Shungu's first time volley sails well wide. 2 minutes of added time. Can we get an 8th just for a bit of fun? No, okay. Oh, maybe we can. Donkor's interception goes to Lacroix. Lacroix was apparently offside, which seems unlikely, and also his finish wasn't great, which is a shame. There we go. We were simply brilliant. The first half we completely dominated them. Possibly our last home game of the campaign. It's definitely the last home game of the campaign, unless the Zorya game is also a home one. It is, in fact, so we have one more game at home. Western-super-Mare finished in the playoff spots. I don't know what's going on with that, but Planisek has been on form. The Slovenian boss was there, who was he looking at? Oh, looking at Dennis Ross. Oh dear. Well, sorry, Dennis. It doesn't look like you're going to be getting another cap for Slovenia anytime soon, with your 7 goals conceded. Yes, I suppose I shall go. Superb win. Benitez, top quality keeper. Simply faultless. Please, he's playing well. Wonderful player. Good. West Brom. Yeah. We done did good, guys, and now we're going to play our final game of the video. It's already been 35 minutes, but I'm going to give you a little treat, and we're going to go for Zorya, the bottom club. And if we don't batter them, I shall be upset. Jorge Rosales, a player that I signed and then had to send straight out on loan because he was bitching and whining about being so sad and away from his family, has done well in the Lithuanian A-League at FBK Kaunas. I don't think he'll have very much of a future with us, but he might develop into a player that we can make some profit on. Lord knows what the computer manager will do with this squad once we leave. I was wondering, because theoretically, the club should go on to dominate for the foreseeable. I'm looking forward to seeing how they go on without us. I'm also kind of interested to see what happens to. So Gornik Kriviri, the other club from Kriviri, they came up and they went down again. They're terrible. But yeah, I'm looking forward to what happens to Krivbas. It'd be quite nice if they got relegated eventually, because they were relegated. It's now nearly 2 decades since they have been relegated, but they used to be a fairly middling team. They're essentially, if Sevastopol or Odessa or Metallurg got bought out by some backer and then went on to become the second or third best team, at least of the decade. So yeah, okay. So we're going to play with Merino up front, and I think Merino is going to play with Plan Insect for the final game. We'll play Marek Seaman because we haven't heard his name for a while, and that's sad. We're going to take out Badani, and we're going to play Musa Kurt. And then in midfield, we'll go with Kofi Donkor, Croatian Komi, Ibrahim Shahata, Determined Henry. Let's go with all the big boys. And this is probably the last game for Lviv, so let's go and enjoy it. Let's whack some goals past these fools. Alexiev is going to make his 100th appearance. Ivan Merino needs 3 more goals to reach 125 career goals. Let's see if we can get him those goals. He should be able to get them because these guys are fucking terrible. I've changed my team talk for the last one, which suggests to me that I've now ruined the chance of us walloping them. But you never know. Oh, Shahata scores a free kick in 3 minutes. Easy. Lovely stuff. You can see what I was saying the other day about you can't see why anyone would want to leave, because you get to like boost your stats and you get to seem like a great player playing in a division where everyone else is terrible. And then you still get to play, in the latter stages of the Champions League. Why would you ever want to leave? Oh, and that's a penalty. Thanks, Zorya. Determined Henry steps up. We could have let Marino do that, really, but okay. Determined Henry runs up. Is he going to miss? Probably. Yes, he does. And then he slots it home anyway. Nicely done, Determined Henry. Well done. I like the way that is shown on the thing, by the way, is it will be shown as Determined Henry missed penalty, Determined Henry scored. Bless. Okay, good work. So it looks like we're going to win. Shahata to Alexiev, Croatian Komi. Determined Henry turns and shoots. Westrom has it. Croatian Komi, can he have a go? No. Determined Henry turns, goes for a goal himself. Would have been a stunner. Would have been an absolute curling beauty, but it doesn't go in. And they do have a goal kick, which is given straight back to us. Alexiev to Croatian Komi. You can see why the league is fairly uninspiring stuff to play. This is how 90% of all the games go. And whilst it's fun to win, it's not fun to win this easily. Zorya, of course we are playing 2 of the worst teams in division in this video, but that's pretty much how all the games go. Like we beat, what were they called? We beat Krivbas. Like we scored 5 against Krivbas. I think we scored 6 against one of the other big teams. We smashed Dnipro at home. We smashed them away. We beat Shakhtar comfortably home and away. So even the teams that were like, we beat Metalist 6-1. That was also on camera. I think Merino scores. Lovely stuff. So it's not like it's only the small teams we're battering. We also batter all the teams around us as well. There we go. Metalist having a sensational season, by the way. 70 goals for. I mean, they've conceded 41. We've scored 111 and conceded 5. So they've gone big. They've gone big. If that doesn't if that doesn't scream we're getting beaten and need to stop conceding goals, I don't know what does. They can't practice that in the training ground, right? They can't practice that. Determined Henry's ball in. Musa Kurtz header. Actually, he's beaten in the air by Chorny. He heads out for another corner. Determined Henry's ball comes in. Adamenko manages to collect. Alexiev. Shahata's into Planinsek. Oh, his touch was just beaten. Oh, we're wasting time now. And then Marino picks it up and turns and shoots. Their terrible run continues. Our sensational run for the last decade continues. 88 points, I think, will be a record. I'm not 100% sure. Did we get 88 before? I know that 90 is the maximum you can get, and if we had used one of our 112 goals or whatever it is against Olympic in that game, we would have had maximum points this season. We can get one more goal from Merino, get him up to 125. That'd be nice. It's not quite 125 for us. I think he must have scored once or twice before the club that he was at before he came to us. But he's a quality player, and he's very soon going to have 125 for Lviv, unless they sell him. Sergei Yefremov keeps his card in his pockets. Shahata to determined Henry. Okay, we have lots of shots, all blocked. Are they still playing that ridiculous formation? It looks like they might have even gone more defensive. No, they are still like that. Westrom, the backup right back for us, just completely bamboozles their striker. Lovely stuff. And then Shahata's ball badly played forward towards Merino. That's a shame. What shall we do? Let's bring on Baton. I'm not going to take off I'm not going to take off Ado. I'm not going to take off Merino. And let's have Magno come in as well. No, let's not. Let's have Zion Ashkenazi come in. And Ado at the top there for Planinsek. There you go. Early changes, and then maybe that will badger us into scoring some more. Okay, Determined Henry to Croatian Commie. Huge ball forward towards Baton. Determined Henry wins it again. The ball falls through to Ado. He's got it again. Baton crosses. Nobody bothers running forwards. Alexiev up to Shahata. Shahata, he went for it, but Adamenko was saving it comfortably. Huge ball forward. Nope. Shahata, he went for another free kick. Goes over. Anything interesting happening in the other games? Probably not. Determined Henry's on an absolute tear today. Marino, he shoots wide. Stal are winning on their final game in the division. That's a shame for them. Vorskla are beating Shakhtar, which is great. That's cool. Vorskla did really well. Oh, Halstenberg scores from a corner. Nicely done. Yeah, Vorskla have done very well, having been promoted. They've done similar to what Krim Teplice did and finished up in 8th. They're winning against Shakhtar, which is nice. Metalist are dominating Dnipro. And Dynamo Kiev are beating Krivbas, which is really cool. I like that. Karpati doing well. It is actually the one thing that is kind of cool about this division. One of the things that's cool about this division is that our rival is actually a decent rival. Like when we were Shlonsk, our rival was Zagłębie Lubin, who I think we played them in the cup final a couple of years in a row once, but like they weren't ever a credible threat. Whereas Karpati, at least for a while, were a credible threat. They won the cup when when we've not done it. They've come second once or twice behind us. I mean, never particularly close, but they've come second. And at least it's good to have a rival in your division who's actually okay, rather than sometimes, like with Western, that they didn't have any rivals, I think, and with Swindon, the biggest rival was Bristol City. But when they came up, when we were in charge anyway, they just kept getting relegated. All that year that they did stop us winning the league, there was a year when Bristol City beat us and meant that whoever we were playing against pipped us to the title. That's true. But yeah, I think Karpaty have been a good rival. Krivbas more so, but the game doesn't count Krivbas as a rival for us. I mentioned before how I'd like that you could build rivals in the same way that you can get favoured personnel and stuff. If you have to play the same club over and over again and you're challenging for the same titles over and over again, it would be cool if you can make even just a short-term rivalry. Oh, Determined Henry scores an absolute perler. It's 6-0 again. Did we win the last one 7-0 or was it 6-0 last time around? Anyway, we are utterly dominant here over Zorya. I don't think they've had one shot, wasn't even on target. Our shooting rate, like our conversion rate, is remarkably similar every game. 28 shots, 11 on target. That's pretty much, that's statistically, that's about as well as we always do. We get to around 30, 35 shots, maybe maximum. We get about 12 to 15 on target. We score 6. It's remarkable how similar it is every time, which just suggests that we're probably getting a lot of corners which are headed over, which is accounting for a lot of those things. And by probably, I mean we definitely are. You've seen it. Udo tries to cross. Chorny clears. Ashkenazi now to Biton. Determined Henry goes for a shot, but it was blocked. The ball comes forward now. Ashkenazi heads back to Seaman. Seaman up towards Alexiev. To Croatian Komi. Out to Biton. Now Udo has it. Goes round his man. Udo crosses. Nobody bothers coming forward. Alexiev puts the ball in. Biton's header goes wide. And it looks like that's probably going to be it. 6-0 over Zorya is not a bad result. Poor old Zorya, who came up this season for the first time, or possibly for the second time, and really on a hiding to nothing. But yes, another good win, 6-0 in the end. Vorskla won against Shakhtar 3-0, so that means they'll probably be relegated on the final day next season. But I don't think we'll be around to see that. Shakhtar have sacked their manager, and they think somehow that I'll be the one to go and change things around. We've done very, very well there. Zakharchuk. Okay, so let's attend the press conference. It's a great achievement. That's his 100th appearance for us. Bloody hell. We can look back with a lot of pride. It was a pretty special way to end the season. Determined Henry was excellent. Yes, so there we go. That's it done. I will monitor the situation. I'll see if I get that achievement, and I'll see if the teams that I want sort of fall into the right places. And then I'll do the next video once I've found out what's going on, and we'll sort of do that all together. So I'll see you in the next one, guys. Oh, I just want to check. Is 88 a record? Yes, 88 is a record. Yeah, 88 is the highest anyone has ever done in a Ukrainian Premier League season. 29 wins and 1 draw. Fuck you, Olympic Donetsk. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.